Stunning historic architecture, invigorating thermal baths, castles on a hill, and bars and buildings that look like they should be condemned. Oh, and delicious food. It's our first time in Hungary, and today we are exploring the beautiful contrast of the capital city, Budapest, and giving you our first impressions. We're MADison and iVEN. Let's madventure. We have boarded the train to Budapest. We have about 2.5 hours to get there. iVEN is working. I'm gonna try to get some work done while also making sure to take in any beautiful views along the way. And we are just hungry for some good times in Budapest. Instantly stunning. We made it to Budapest.
More cobblestones.
Oh my gosh, this place is beautiful. Good morning from Budapest. We are at the most beautiful cafe in the world, New York Cafe. It's actually named because the New York insurance company is who built this building here in the city. It's just stunning. It truly is a very, very beautiful cafe. And we've been to a lot of beautiful cafes lately because we've been staying in Vienna. So that's saying a lot. This cafe opened up here in 1894, and it has been a place where literary geniuses of Hungary have come and written some of their best, most beautiful works. There's actually a quote, "There's no literature without a cafe," and it was written by a writer who wrote here on a regular basis. But I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit touristy, and the prices definitely reflect that. This is some expensive breakfast and expensive coffee, but I mean, it is stunning, and there's live piano music playing. I mean, this is a really beautiful way to start your morning, just on this like lovely note. We've got a Hungarian hot plate. It is a Hungarian ratatouille with an egg and sausage. I don't know if this is an authentic Hungarian dish. Let us know in the comments below. We just got it because it said Hungarian, and it was one of the less expensive dishes. But I do know that Hungarian sausage is a big deal to try when you're here in Budapest, and it is such a dark sausage. It looks like it's full of so many spices. And there's definitely a good amount of paprika in there. Definitely such a flavorful sausage. You know, it's super good. Free-range Hungarian eggs with a delicious ratatouille. Just a delicious way to start the morning. We also got a Hungarian coffee. The Hungarian coffee has whipped cream, raisins on the top, and a little bit of what we think is a honey liqueur. Oh, they're starting to play over there now. Live music right there. That's so cool. We had the live piano concert earlier. Now we have all new musicians playing over here. Like, this is absolutely incredible. What a perfect way to start the morning. This is so good. Okay, so we've confirmed that there actually is alcohol in here. We weren't totally sure because the menu was a little confusing, but it's like a local sweet wine, and it has this amazing toasted honey sweet flavor to it. I'm not usually a fan of alcohol in my coffee, but this is actually fantastic. And honestly, it didn't matter what we ordered here because it's just all about these vibes. Beautiful cafe, and the live music is absolutely perfect. We've got like local, authentic Hungarian instruments. Like, it's just beyond. Like, what a great way to start our time here in Budapest, all fueled up and ready to start the day of exploring.
The line out, oh my gosh.
We came here at the right time. We did not have a reservation because we didn't know that you could make them. This is the line now. It's still going. Still going. Still going, still going. thing.
Beat the crowd. By waking up early for once, that's not a usual thing.
Waking up early pays off when we actually do it. What's so cool about going to the New York Cafe here in Budapest is that when we first got here, our first impression of Budapest as we were walking to our hotel from the train station was like, wow, this place actually reminds us a lot of a beautiful historic European city, but also of one of our favorite cities in the world, New York City. So it's just really funny that like this cafe is confirming that blend that we saw that makes this beautiful, unique city of Budapest. What better way to explore a city than to just start walking? So we have started a self-guided walking tour here at the Parliament. This building is so cool and unique. You can definitely see such a blend of styles, which is cool because it sort of represents Hungary in and of itself, because Hungary has had so many influences from so many different places that it very much has its own beautiful blend of styles as well. This Parliament building though is massive because it was built when they were a seat of the Austro-Hungarian Empire in control of a huge amount of people, having a huge government. But now they fill about an eighth of this building with the actual parliament and government, and the rest of it is just to explore the absolutely beautiful architecture.
At first glance, you look at some of these tall spires, you're like, oh yes, I've seen spires like this in Europe, like it's in the neo-Gothic style. And then you turn a corner and like, you see that dome. Wait, is that part of the same building? I don't remember ever seeing domes in the Gothic architecture, but there you are, and that's actually Renaissance style, actually the neo-Renaissance style, and Hungary just added whatever they felt like was beautiful, and I think it works, combining all the different styles together.
Right here behind the Parliament House is our first view of the river. This is so stunning here on the Danube. I already want to extend our stay just so that I have time to just chill and take in this beautiful view. And fun fact, we are in Budapest, the city, but it used to actually be two cities, Buda and Pest. So we right now are on the Pest side, and over there across the river is Buda. But the majority of the activities that you'll do as a tourist are here on the Pest side. The Buda side, there's the Buda Hill, the Buda Castle. But other than that, it's a little bit more relaxed residential side of the city.
A few steps away along the Danube is a memorial to the Hungarian Jews who were shot into the river during World War II. Shoes were a commodity at the time, so they were ordered to remove them before being shot into and washed away by the river. Seeing the shoes here, children's shoes, women's shoes, men's shoes, some new, some days from giving out, is such a powerful memorial to the individuals who were killed here.
This is the Soviet monument that's celebrating Liberation Day, when the Soviets officially forced the Nazis out of Hungary. As we're walking around Budapest, we're seeing so many statues and monuments and memorials. They are everywhere. Like, that is one of the key things that you're looking at when you are visiting Budapest. And turns out there is a story behind how that became such a big part of this city. Emperor Franz Joseph of Austro-Hungary was here visiting with the Emperor of Germany, and the Emperor of Germany gave him a hard time about how few monuments there were here in the city, and so he immediately funded the construction of a whole bunch of monuments here in Budapest. And yeah, it just kind of continued from there. They took off, built so many, and now no Germans can insult the lack of monuments here, because there's a lot.
Statue measuring contest. This is the largest Catholic church in Budapest. Once again, we see a whole plethora of styles here. We got Baroque, Classical, and Renaissance here, partially because they had 3 architects, each which had their pet style. Why not put it all together?
It's beautiful.
It reminds me a lot of like Washington, D.C., where like you have these beautiful buildings, but each one is distinct and kind of just whatever you were feeling like at the time. Many of those buildings were actually built in the last 100, 150 years. They have a long, rich history that they could call upon.
The chain bridge.
We were just in Pest, and now we're going into Buda.
Crossing the bridge of the Danube. The chain bridge.
The most enjoyable bridge in Budapest.
That's what we heard.
Yeah. Budapest, Budapest.
And now we have hiked up Buda Hill to an absolutely stunning view of Pest. Up here on Buda Hill, this is considered the final foothill of the Alps that stretch all the way from France. And then in Pest begins the Great Hungarian Plain. So you can tell, I mean, we're up here on this relatively high foothill of the Alps. And then here it just gets completely flat.
All the way to Asia.
So this was at times considered the natural divide between Europe and Asia. But that's not how it works anymore. That's in Turkey. Three prime ministers ago, the prime minister built this house to house the prime minister, but he lost his re-election, and the prime minister that won said, "Oh no, I don't want to live in that." A little spiteful, and so they made this the president's home and offices instead. But then the next prime minister, the current prime minister, was like, "This was awesome. I'm a little jealous of the house that the president now has." So he turned this theater into the prime minister's home and offices. This theater has seen so many incredible performances over the years. Beethoven has played here, and now the prime minister sleeping performances, I guess. This is Buda Hills, the Beverly Hills of Budapest. We've been in Europe for over a month at this point. I have seen so many incredible churches, and yet they just keep getting more and more and more stunning. Oh, amazing. This is Fisherman's Bastion, built in 1896 as Budapest was getting itself all fixed up for its giant centennial celebration. And wait until we see the view. One of the top things to do in Budapest is come to the szechenyi thermal baths. Thermal baths are a huge part of Budapest. There are over 100 hot springs bubbling here. They say if you literally dig a hole anywhere in the city, you will come up with boiling hot water, and that is just a way of life here in this city. And so we have come to the hot springs. It's absolutely incredible. There's so many steam rooms and saunas and pools and hot pools, cold pools, all sorts of pools that you get access to. But the pool I'm most excited about is the one here outside. Oh my gosh. Beautiful hot springs with the beautiful European architecture. You just couldn't ask for a more perfect way to end a busy day of walking and touristing than soaking your body in this amazing, relaxing, warm hot springs. There is a lazy river. There is a like actual lap pool. This place is just spa paradise. And Ivan's ready to get in.
Yeah, it's cold.
The people in the background just look crazy in the lazy river.
I feel the pull.
We're joining this ridiculous looking, not lazy at all, whirlpool river. Okay. Woo! There's Ivan. This is insane.
It's bad.
I feel like when you're in it, you can't tell just how fast it is. Oh my god.
That was one round in like 3 seconds.
This is the most ridiculous fun thing. I love this so much.
That was fun. I don't like the transferring part, that's for sure.
Transferring from the adventure pool over to the thermal pool, which is all the way over there. And now the thermal pool. You can definitely see more steam coming off of it. I already feel warm or just being here.
Oh, that's so nice. I love you in Budapest.
You're the Buda best. That was epic. We are pruny. So it's time to go.
Dry as a bone.
We're dehydrated. With the whole bus to ourselves.
Köszönjük, hogy velünk utaztak. Viszontlátásra!
We've taken all forms of public transportation here in Budapest. The buses, the trams, and the subway, they've all been amazing. Highly recommend using public transportation here. We got a day pass for I think around $8 a person that has covered all forms of public transportation here. I don't even know if the price actually like worked out as far as like the amount of rides go, but I think just from not having to buy a ticket every single time, it might be worth it. This was actually the first subway on the continent. It was built in 1896, and I think because it's so historic, it's also so beautiful. Like the stops have these gorgeous subway tiles, and cars themselves have leather handles to hold on to. It's just actually like such a beautiful subway experience as well. Here we see Boros Marti, the poet. He wrote a patriotic song. He is known as one of the many people who helped kind of change the sentiment from being, you know, just merely subjects of the Habsburg Empire to instead truly embracing their own national identity as Hungarian. So really cool. You might think, really, an American tourist showing us a McDonald's in Budapest? But this is not just any McDonald's. It is the first McDonald's that was built in Eastern Europe behind the Iron Curtain. So when Budapest was still under Russian control, they were sort of these rebels within that governance. And Budapest became the city that you go to get your Western experiences, to get your McDonald's, to get just different Western imports. This McDonald's would literally have lines wrapping around the blocks. People from all over Eastern Europe would come here to get their Western experiences. This McDonald's is very much a rebellion. And here, once again, looks like just any ordinary Adidas store, but it was actually the first Adidas store behind the Iron Curtain. Just like at McDonald's, there were like hours-long waits of people just waiting to get in the store and experience this bit of Western culture. Also, during the Soviet rule, they demanded like a uniformity of the buildings that were on the ground floor, but the tops, they didn't have as many regulations over. So some of these buildings here on this street, the locals like to say are wearing socks. The bottom is super uniform, but up above is like this beautiful ornate design. If this glass wasn't so dirty, you would be able to see that these are the ruins of a Roman fortress that they built to defend their claim on the west. Like we saw before, the Danube was considered the barrier between Asia in the east and Europe in the west, and so this was their fortress to protect their claim on Europe that they put here on the Asia side in case, you know, there was any barbarian coming to steal their kingdom. This is the town center parish church. It is the oldest building in Pest, built in 1046. Just like Budapest itself, this building being here throughout so much of its history has seen so many iterations. It started as a Roman basilica, it's been a mosque under the Ottoman Empire, and it was where Sissi and Emperor Franz Joseph were crowned as the kings and queens of Hungary. This is where their coronation took place. This has just seen so much history of this city. It's so cool. Elizabeth Bridge, named for Sissi.
Like, I've seen pictures that look like this, but I didn't expect like so much of the city to look this beautiful. It's decked out every corner.
This is the largest synagogue in Europe, the second largest in the world, only to a temple in New York City. We actually ate last night at a Jewish restaurant here in Budapest. The Jewish community here was absolutely thriving before the start of World War II. And now it is coming back, thriving. They're redoing the Jewish quarter here, and it is just becoming more and more beautiful again every day. MADventure is moving up in the world. We have a private room at the bar. We are here at a ruin bar. Ruin bars are a huge part of life here in Budapest. Every twist and turn is like a whole new bar almost, but it's just got such a cool kind of grungy, hipstery vibe that's just amazing. We've learned a lot today about how Budapest has had so many just rebirths over the years. It's seen so much history. This ruin bar is like the perfect kind of bringing it all in together. You know, we're here in this building that is, I think, a former oven factory. Now they have just made this really, really cool, incredible, vibey bar out of what was just a building set to be destroyed. And I am drinking a Hungarian local wine. This is the top wine that you have to try when you come to Hungary. It is a Tokai, a white wine from the wine region in Hungary. In our next video, we do a full food tour of Budapest where we try the semi-sweet version of this one, but this is the sweet version. So delicious. This is my kind of wine. Because it's really, really sweet, but it still has this deep, rich complexity that I absolutely love. Tokai till I die. This is definitely one of the coolest bars we have ever been to. This is our final stop. We have had an absolutely incredible time diving into the history, the food, the hot baths. Budapest has been the Budapest.
We are loving Budapest and can't wait to explore more of this city in the next video, so please hit those subscribe and like buttons. It helps us so much. We'll see you on the next one, and until then, watch one of these videos.